Hey there, podcast listeners. Are you ready to take your game day to the next level? I'm excited to announce that I've partnered with SeatGeek as their newest brand ambassador. That's right, I'm officially royally quacking about this awesome collaboration. SeatGeek is your go-to platform for finding the best deals on your tickets to all your favorite events. From concerts to sports, they've got you covered. And as a special thank you to my listeners, use code Royally Quacked. That's right, you can use it in all caps, Royally Quacked, for $20 off your first SeatGeek order. So what are you waiting for? Grab your friends, score some awesome tickets, and go make some unforgettable memories together. Thank you for SeatGeek for making it happen.
It's another beautiful day in sunny Southern California, and we want to welcome you back to Royally Quacked, where I'm Royal and he's quacked. Hey, Cody.
Hey, Dad. This was a much better week.
I had my ups and downs.
It was a better week for us Ducks fans, I could say. So, but how was your week?
Pretty good. I've been off since last day of work was Wednesday, and don't go back to Tuesday next week. So it's been a pretty good week. Got some things done here at the house. Went to a concert with your mom. Had a nice dinner with her, and we had a blast. And then just doing some stuff around the house. I mean, it's not like a vacation. It's like a staycation with doing little things I wanted to do.
Staycations are always nice.
So,
No complaints about any staycations.
yeah, true. How about you?
Good. The Ducks actually won games. I can actually talk about not one win, but I'm not going to spoil it yet.
Yeah,
and I'm just happy we beat one team for sure.
I did not watch the game last night because I got sucked into the whole Tyson Paul thing.
We literally I was watching the Ducks game. Christina had her book club girls night out kind of thing, so I stayed home alone, and she's like, "Hey, don't watch. Let's watch it together tomorrow." I'm like, "All right, that's fine with me." So I just watched the Ducks game, and we literally just finished watching the fight. That was a boring fight.
Well, I got to tell you, the undercard was way better than the main event.
Oh, hands down, both of them were good.
I mean, the one for where it went to a draw was a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the fight of the night.
Oh, the girls' fight was pretty good too.
Yeah, I you know what? I didn't. Maybe it's because it was Netflix and not like ESPN or something. But you don't have people hammering about calling the one girl a cheater. I mean, she did lean with her head a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, she definitely did.
And it did cause the cut.
Yeah.
But what did you think of that decision? What did you see?
Oh, that was a. I'm not gonna hold back. It was a bullshit decision.
Oh boy!
I'm sorry, but
2 weeks in a row.
I'm not. Me and Christina were watching it.
The girl from
the Serrano chick. I think it was Serrano.
Serrano, yeah.
Serrano,
She definitely won the fight.
Oh yeah, and me and Chris were like, "Oh yeah, she definitely won." And then when they said that it was the Taylor chick, we're like, and even the people on Netflix, they were like, "Nah, it was she didn't." They didn't say she didn't deserve it, but Serrano deserved it definitely a lot more. She landed almost 100 more punches, I want to say.
Yeah, it was definitely a robbery. I mean, but I mean, the judges all three judges gave it to her. All three. It wasn't even a split decision. And she said, hey, I can't worry about what everybody else thinks. The judges are who decide it. And I agree with the girl, Taylor.
Yeah.
She was right, but to sit there and, I mean, badmouth her from the other side totally about, oh, that's all she does is headbutt. Oh, she did more than headbutt. She was very aggressive in there. I mean, it was an action-packed fight. It definitely went to the wrong person. I think I would say most of America would agree. You can let us know that. I mean, if you guys want to. I mean, we're going off on talking about another sport right now, but other than that, yeah, Paul, Tyson looked like after round 2 that he had a hard time moving his legs. I go, being that I'm like 8 years older than him, I can understand that.
Well, then why do it? I know it was probably just
I can tell you there was 20 million reasons why he did it. 20 million reasons why.
Was it really? I thought it was 8 million.
Tyson got 20. Paul got 40 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I'm watching Paul. I mean, you put him in with a good heavyweight, he's going to get knocked out.
Or just me and Christine were like, if it was prime Mike Tyson, Jake Paul would have been dead in the first round.
He'd have been out cold, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, you want to move into actual hockey news?
Because I have a bunch of other stuff. Like I kept going because your Uncle Ray watched the fight with me, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fake ear and Tyson comes out with an ear in his mouth, just because I think it was all staged.
Oh, it definitely was all staged.
So, but I had all these visions of craziness that could happen that would make it or Tyson knocks him out in the last round after not throwing a punch for 4 rounds.
Yeah, seriously.
And knocks him out, and then they have to have a rematch because it was a lucky punch.
A lucky punch.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to hockey. Sorry, people. A little passionate about sports on this side. So
yeah. So all right, we'll move into Ducks news. I'm gonna skip my first one because we'll just say more positive news for last. Ducks legend number 47, James Reimer, got waived by the Ducks and gets claimed by Buffalo, which I kind of saw this coming as soon as the Ducks picked him up, pretty much. Because I figured as soon as Gibson was back and looked good, Reimer was going to be waived or traded or something. I already knew that was going to happen.
Sarcasm.
Yeah.
Legend?
Yeah, Ducks.
What, he played 2 games?
Yep. His jersey number is going to be retired next season. He's going to get a statue before Getzlaf does.
I thought this was a hockey podcast, not a comedy show. Sorry.
I mean, I think everyone saw this coming because the guy didn't have any Ducks gear for his goalie gear. He just wore the plain white mask, and you could still see, like, when he was playing, he still had blue like under his pads or something from, like, because I think it was all like he was going back to Buffalo or somewhere, so that's why he never had any like Ducks gear, pretty much. But
there you go.
Yeah, but thank you for the 2 games, Ducks legend James Reimer. I hope your number's in the rafters next season.
Yeah, sure.
Next bit of news, Cam Fowler is out for 2 to 4 weeks with an upper body injury. It's kind of funny, like he's been gone for 3 games and the Ducks have played a little bit better. The silence says it all.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what to tell you on that one. I think everybody, or if they've listened to any of our podcasts, Cody's out trying to peddle Fowler to anybody that would just take him off their hands for free.
At this point, yep. Next news is Robbie Fabry is going to be out for approximately 6 weeks after undergoing meniscus surgery. So, hopefully, you know, I believe he already had the surgery and everything. So now it's just the 6 weeks to see for the rehab and everything. So hopefully he can be back in time and start playing, so that way, um, people can see that he's good to go. So maybe we can, because more than likely he's probably gonna get traded at the deadline. So the quicker, I'm not saying if he comes back within the, after the 6 weeks, plays like how he was doing before, I think we can get a decent draft pick for him. And then, so because of those two injuries, and they're both on the IR, the Ducks had to make a couple moves, and so they recalled forward Jansen Harkins and defenseman Drew Hellison from the San Diego Gulls. And Harkins did play 2 out of the 3 games because he got called up after, I want to say a Monday or Tuesday. They got called up, so Harkins played the Vegas and Detroit game, and Hellison only played the Detroit game. So, and right now McTavish is also out day-to-day with an upper body injury. Hopefully we'll find out some news with the next day or two about that. And then Urho Vakanainen also suffered an upper body injury during the Vegas game on Wednesday. He did not play against the Red Wings, and he'll be re-examined this weekend. Per Dennis Bernstein, could Detroit be a landing spot for Gibson?
You mean Dennis Bernstein from Kings of the Podcast?
Yeah, I think.
Boy, you're getting news from the Kings of the Podcast guy, huh?
Well, I saw it on, I think, Twitter or Instagram. So, like I said, I'm that's why I said that he reported it. I'm making sure he gets credit for it. So I didn't know that he was from the Kings of the Podcast.
Yeah, he's with John Mayer on Kings of the Podcast.
Okay.
It's a kick and show, people. If you haven't listened to Kings of the Podcast, it's fun. They're funny together because Dennis is from New York. You can hear it in his voice, and him and John Mayer do a great job on Kings of the Podcast. Shout out, guys.
Yeah. And then, per the fourth period, Cam Fowler, Frank Vetrano, Robbie Fabry, and Brock McGinn are all possible trade targets for other teams. And then the Vans is coming out with another collaboration with the Ducks, but this time, instead of 3 shoes, each player, 4 Ducks players each kind of create their own version of their shoes. And I think today or tomorrow, or I should say today as of Saturday and tomorrow of Sunday, but this podcast will come out Monday, you're able to vote on which one everyone wants. I think, in my opinion, I picked either Carlson's or Terry. I liked both of theirs. So, and then last bit of news, not really news, but something it's a must watch. Ryan Strome and Radko Gudas star in a video for the NHL pretending to be sales associates at the New York shop in New York. So when the Ducks did their little East Coast road trip this last year, or this, was it a couple weeks ago? Radko Gudas and Ryan Strome kind of went undercover at the NHL shop trying to sell Ducks merch to other fans, and it was hilarious, by the way. I sent it to you. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I have not seen it, and I'm
looking.
I really want to see that now.
So I know there's one part you are not gonna like.
No, they're gonna jump and say something bad about the Kings, right? That's okay.
Let's just say nobody says anything bad, but a Kings thing is involved.
Okay, well, who cares?
And it's hilarious.
They're in last place. They're in last place. So
yeah, but
let them have their fun.
If I started dying when I saw it. So Ryan Strome was now Brian. That was his undercover name, and Radko went as Jim.
Radko Jim, okay.
Yeah. And it was funny because like towards the end, Gudis actually put on his Ducks jersey, and yeah,
Somebody vacuuming?
yeah, someone's vacuuming. That's great.
Should close the door.
It's open concept here. I know. As long as you can hear me perfectly fine, then I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything else.
Yeah. But yeah, and so Radko put on his Ducks jersey and grabbed his stick and went to like the very front of the store, like where the mannequins would usually be, and pretended to be like a mannequin. And Strom was out there like pointing, "Hey, come on, go inside, buy some Ducks gear and stuff like that." And then
In
the
New
very
York.
end was, yeah. My favorite at the very end was they had Ryan Strom's jerseys and then Dylan Strom's jerseys right next to each other. And Ryan Strom grabbed one of his jerseys and put it in front of his brother's jerseys. And then he said, "Don't tell my mom."
Yeah, there you go. Like, we're not supposed to tell Mom about your bad word already in the early part of the podcast.
Yeah. So all right, I'll let you do your Kings jerseys while I tell my
King's jerseys.
or your Kings
I'm doing
news.
King's jerseys now.
Yeah, you're doing.
If I did them, they would look better than they did. I mean, I do like the new ones, but I mean,
yeah.
I would have done a better job. Sorry,
yeah.
guys.
But I'll let you do your Kings news while I tell this person to hold on the vacuuming while we're podcasting.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. I'll be right back while you're doing your Kings news.
Okay. Sammy Hellenius recalled from Ontario Reign. With Turcotte still on IR, they brought up Sammy Hellenius, and he actually got an assist in his first game, but I'll share that later. Also news, Darcy Kemper left Wednesday's game in Colorado early due to an undisclosed injury, and within a day was put on IR. Also, Caleb Jones also left the Colorado game with an upper body injury and goes on the IR. So that brings, obviously we've been seeing a lot of injuries here, just reporting between our two teams. Kings recalled goalie Eric Portillo and defenseman Jacob Moverari from the AHL's Ontario Reign to replace, obviously, Kemper and Jones. Does that mean, this is Saturday, it's 11:06 Pacific time. Are we going to see an NHL debut tonight when the Kings play? Are we going to get to see them against, is Portillo going to possibly start for the Kings tonight against Detroit? So, more on that next podcast, but be on the lookout for it, guys. Also, I wanted to give you guys an Ontario Reign update since Cody updated the goals. As of today, their record is 6-6. Their leading scorers are Lynn Godden. He has 12 points with 5 goals. Samuel Fagimo. He has 10 points with 5 goals. And
are you sure it's not Fagimo?
Whatever.
Adam ruined this for us.
I wasn't going to say nothing. I was just not going to do that anymore.
I know, but it's just I think it's just part of Royally Quacked where we have to say both names now.
Okay.
I'll let you keep going.
And Joe Hickett's, and he's a defenseman, has 10 points. All 10 are assists. So those are the leading scorers. They're 6-6. Not bad since they've almost completely overturned their roster except for a few. Sort of like the Kings did this year. So, not just, go Kings go, but go Reign go. So, on to league news.
Rain, go away, come again. Sorry.
Beat the goals on another day.
Hey. And speaking of teams in last place, isn't Reign in last place?
6-6.
Last time I looked, they were in last.
They've played.
They picked it up. Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
they won last night. They beat Colorado.
Eagles,
The Eagles, yeah.
the Schmeagles.
Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
they're
Well,
usually pretty good too.
that's where Greg Cronin came from.
Yeah,
All right. Well, that's it for the Kings news.
that is. Let's go to
All right.
league news.
League news. So I don't know if this first one was updated or not, because I think they did win another game after
Yes,
this,
they
right?
did.
Okay, so they went.
And then they lost
Okay, and
another
then they
game.
lost. So we'll do a little correction. So the Winnipeg Jets have the best start in NHL history, going 15-1 before losing their second game. I believe it was to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
It was to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, I remember hearing that on 32 Thoughts. So I just remembered I couldn't remember if they won another game before or not. So I was like, wait. So that's just crazy that the Winnipeg Jets are 15-2.
Yeah, that's
That's crazy.
incredible.
That's
Especially
crazy.
they new coach.
Yeah.
They lost some players, but
Did
whoever came in has picked up the slack.
well then Velarde's playing.
Let's not bring that up because that's just sour in my mind. I didn't like the trade from the start. So
I thought that was a stupid trade.
well,
The Winnipeg.
I could understand it to a little bit just because they were still salary cap kind of, but to give the guy $8 million a year after the trade, you know what? And the funny thing is, he's playing decently for the Capitals, so good for him.
Yeah. That's
Capitals
just,
are playing. They're in like second place, I believe.
yeah, and you and Eric gave me crap for picking the
Well, that's because
Capitals.
we thought Poison was on that team from Dubois, but obviously maybe that's the place he needed to be. So,
Well, yeah, he's actually with the Russian sniper.
I don't know if he's actually
I
playing
know.
with him a lot. So, speaking of the Capitals, they made a trade. They received Lars Eller, and the Penguins receive a 2025 fifth round pick and a 2027 third round pick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they actually got more talented just by getting rid of a couple draft picks. We'll
Lars
see how
Eller,
that.
he returns back to Washington. It's not the first time.
Yeah,
Probably won't be the last time either.
guys keep bouncing back to the same team. So
Yeah. This is some big news. General Manager Kyle Dubas of the Pittsburgh Penguins has made it known league-wide that everyone on the team is available for trade except for the captain, Sid the Kid Crosby. And then
wow.
I also heard, I forgot, I can't remember who reported it. I just saw it on Instagram this morning and I forgot to put it in the notes. That if Malkin came out and said, he's like, I don't want to leave. He's like, I'd rather stay and watch this thing get teared down than leave. So maybe he might. I think those are the two that stay, and then everyone else goes. But I'm
Well,
sorry, I think he made a big mistake signing Tristan Jarry to that 5-year, 5-something million contract. The guy that hasn't stayed healthy his whole career.
yeah. I just with that thought, not to put a stop to league news, but wouldn't Pittsburgh could probably use a guy like John Gibson, couldn't they?
Remember, I think they're trying to tear it down more than rebuild.
Well, that would
But
be
I
a good.
mean, if it was like a retool, then yeah, I can kind of see something
Yeah,
like
well, we'll
that.
see what happens.
Yeah. But
Okay. Vegas have extended defense. Oh, good. This is perfect because it's an ex-King. Defenseman Braden McNabb to a 3-year, $10.95 million contract that's 3.65 AAV. Congratulations, Braden. I mean, another
yeah,
guy that we let go that has done well for Vegas.
yeah, he has. So, all right. Next bit of news is Andre Vasilevsky is the fastest goalie to reach 300 career wins and only did it in 490 games. The previous record was held by, was it Jacques Plante? I want to say Plante. I remember I heard the name.
It's
Huh?
Plant.
Plant?
Yeah.
Yeah. He reached 300 wins and 528 games.
Yeah,
So he did it in.
and he played for Montreal.
Yeah.
In their heyday.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's real crazy.
In the last bit of league news, Connor McDavid, gets his 1,000th career point and his fourth fastest to reach the milestone.
You want to know who are the three fastest?
Gretzky.
Yep. He did it in 424 games.
Lemieux,
number 2 at 513.
Somebody had who else? Mike Bossy.
Mike Bossy, yeah.
Ooh,
That was good.
ooh.
I would have gotten the first two. If I didn't see this, I would have not have guessed
I did
Mike
not
Bossy.
look any of that up,
No,
guys.
I believe you.
I am dancing here in the beautiful Marcel Dion studio in my walk-in closet.
The Marcel Dion. How many different studios has your studio been?
Have you not ever heard some of these podcasts when Kings of the Podcast? Oh, yeah, we're live from the Luke Robitaille studio. And some of them will do it as a different player. So I thought I would steal it.
Well, I'm in the J.S. Shigeru studio right now.
J.S. Shigeru.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mike Bossy, he did it in 656 games. So and McDavid did it in 659 games. So McDavid and Bossy were only 3 games apart. That's crazy.
Shows you how good Mike Bossy was, because he was a goal-scoring machine for the Islanders.
Yeah. So you want to hear something?
Well, that's when the Islanders won 4 straight Stanley Cups, or 4 out of 5 years or something like that. They were really good.
So you want to hear something really crazy? So, Austin Matthews, I think, needs 340 more games to hit 1,000 points. Do you know the point average he needs to have to reach the same milestone as Connor McDavid? Or no, sorry, he's 340 points away from 1,000 points. You know what he would have to average to make it in the same amount of games as McDavid?
1.5?
He would have to average 4 points a game.
Wait a second.
He would have to average 4 points a game.
Yeah, he has 340 games.
No, sorry. He's 340 points away from 1,000 points.
Okay.
And for him to get in the same game, same amount of games.
So he's only 90 games less than McDavid right now.
Yeah.
Wow. Or
he would have to average 4 points a game just to get to the same point.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. All right. Now we're gonna do games, game recaps. You want to start this week?
Sure.
Let's go
to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Let me just get... There we are. Columbus Blue Jackets. This game was on November 9th. Let's get the scoring. Of course, it always starts off with us giving up a goal. Voronkov scores at the 13:26 mark to put the Blue Jackets up 1-0. But the nice thing, Kings fans, don't worry, it was the last time they had the lead. And that it was 1-0 after the first period. And then in the second period, Vladislav Gavrikov scores his second from Kempe, his 8th assist, and Kopitar, his 11th assist at the 4:16 mark on a snapshot. So now we're tied 1-1. Then our free agent pickup this year, which I think has looked pretty good. Warren Fogle scores a 6th from Akil Thomas, his first assist, and Sammy, the rookie Hellenius, gets his first assist in his first game. So it's now 2-1 Kings, and that was at the 6:12 mark on a wrist shot. So after 2 periods, Kings 2, Columbus Blue Jackets nothing. Then Thousand Oaks,
Native
Trevor Moore scored his second goal short-handed from Philippe Deneau, his 8th on a snapshot at the 32nd mark. So it was pretty quick in the third period to put the Kings up 3-1. Then at the 19 seconds later, it was short-lived, guys. Short-lived because they were still on the power play. Ivan Provorov, who is on the Kings payroll, by the way, and he scored a goal against them. I think we should fire him right now. We are paying one of those salary things to. That's how we got rid of
Cal Peterson's
contract. So at the 49-second mark, it was on a wrist shot from Danforth, his 4th, and Fantilli, his 4th. But Alex, the MVP, LaFerriere, scores his 9th from Joel Edmondson. And here's another pickup that people were really bad talking about. I think Edmondson and Fogle have been great pickups. It's everybody else that hasn't been playing for the Kings.
I think they've looked really good so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So
underrated signings. I think I wouldn't have given them those kind of contracts, but they've looked good so far.
Well, I think Fogle's was a fair market value. I think everybody felt that Edmondson's was a little bit too much money. That's all. And that was on a tip in at the 7:05 mark, making it 4-2 Kings. Then not only on the power play, but an empty netter by here's another King MVP candidate right now. Brant Clark scores his 2nd from Kopitar, his 12th, and Kempe, his 9th at the 19:29 mark for a final score of 5-2. So let's go to the 3 stars. 3 stars. The 3rd star, the rookie in his first game gets to be a 3rd star, Sammy Hellenius, with an assist. 2nd star, Trevor Moore with a goal. And the 1st star of the game, Warren Fogle, with a goal and an assist. So let's go over the basic stats for this game real quick for you guys. I know we talk about a lot of this stuff. The Kings were outshot by Columbus 26-23. But not like early in the season, our face-off percentage has gotten better. It was just about like 47 or 57-43 the Kings won. They did give up a power play goal. And so Columbus was 1 for 3 on the power play. But the Kings were 1 for 4 at 25%. There were 13 penalty minutes for the Jackets, and the Kings had 11. Hits, the Jackets 16, Kings 8. Block shots, Jackets 12, Kings 22. Excellent job on the block shot, boys. And then giveaways, the Jackets had 10. The Kings gave away too many at 14. And takeaways were the Kings won that 5-4. And so that was the first game of the week, of which I predicted. I think I predicted 5-3, but it was a win.
I thought you predicted a 5-2.
I had written down 5-3, so I don't know. Maybe you wrote it down. Maybe I changed it and didn't. You could look back last last week and check that for it. So that's
True.
game one. Do you just want me to do all my games then?
Knock it out. Go for it.
Okay.
I can actually look up your prediction for that one.
Okay. So the next game on 11/11, the Kings were in Calgary to play the Flames. Now, it's still been an up and down season. California native, I can't remember his first name. Wolf, the goalie. What's his first name, Cody?
Dustin
Wolf. California native, 7th round pick. Made 28 saves this game today. And I've been hearing a lot of flack that the Kings shouldn't have let that go. So there was no scoring in the first period. But in the second period, Kings got down quick. Michael Backlund with his 4th unassisted. And then Jonathan Huberdeau scored his 6th from Kuzmenko, his 8th. And Dustin Wolf, the California boy, got his first assist as a goalie. Well, for this season at least. And that was on a wrist shot at the 11:18 mark. So after the second period, Kings are down. Then in the third period, Trevor Moore gets his 3rd from Kopitar, his 13th assist, and Quentin Byfield, his 7th assist on a wrist shot at the 17:29 mark. So that made it 2-1. And then, just like always, you get the empty net, and Kevin Rooney scored his first from Backlund, his 5th, and Coronado, his 2nd at the 1940 mark for a final score of 3-0. 3 stars of the game were all Flames: Backlund, Zari, and Wolf. Well deserved by Wolf, by the way. Go over the stats, and this is where you see where this game, honestly, I listened and watched some of this game. We got outplayed pretty much the whole game. So, Kings had 29 shots, Flames 28. It was 54-46 on the face-off in favor of the Flames. There was no power play goals. Kings were 0 for 1, and Calgary was 0 for 2. Hits, Kings 25, Flames 23. Block shots, here's where it's crazy. This is crazy. 36 for the Flames, only 18 for the Kings.
Wow.
Giveaway, 18 for the Kings, 15 for the Flames. Takeaways, 4 for the Kings, and 5 for the Flames. So the finals 3-1. That's in Calgary. I mean, Calgary shut them down. It was a good look. They look good. And the Pacific Division is going to be tough this year, guys. I can tell you right now because they look pretty good. Then on 11/13, we go to Colorado, and we play the Avalanche. This is where we ended up losing Kemper and Jones in this game. But in the scoring, we start off the scoring with Adrian Kempe getting his 6th from Trevor Moore, his 8th, and Kopitar his 14th at the 32-second mark. So we started off quick and we're up 1-0. But that did not last but just about 3 minutes. Lehkonen scores his 3rd from Rantanen, his 13th, and McKinnon his 24th on a snapshot at the 3:40 mark. And then Adrian Kempe gets his 7th from Kopitar his 15th and Moore his 9th to put the Kings up 2-1 at the 15:51 mark on a snapshot. So after one period, it's Kings 2, Colorado 1, and that's where the Kings offense went missing. In the second period, Mikko Rantanen scores his 10th from Kel Makar, his 19th assist at the 16:07 mark on a snapshot. Then it's Mikko Rantanen again from Nathan McKinnon, his 25th assist, and Logan O'Connor, his 2nd assist at the 10:01 mark on a wrist shot. So now it is 3-2 Colorado. And then Mikko Rantanen scores his 12th on the empty netter from McKinnon his 26th and Lehkonen his 3rd at the 18:01 mark for a 4-2 final for the Kings. Let's go to the stats on that one. This is what blows me away. I mean, they get kind of beat bad. 67.2% face-off percentage for the Kings to 32.8 for the Avalanche. That's domination on the face-off circle, but it didn't parlay to much of the Kings winning the game. They were outshot 26-15. Kings were 0 for 1 on the power play. Avalanche were 0 for 3. Hits, Kings out-hit them 24-20. Blocked shots was 24. Block shots was 18 for the Kings, 15 for the Avalanche. Giveaways, 11 Kings, 12 for the Avalanche. Takeaways were even at 4 apiece. And the final again, that was in a game in Colorado, was the Avalanche 4 and the Kings 2. And just so on my predictions, I did predict them to beat the Blue Jackets. I predicted them to beat the Flames, but they didn't, so I lost that one. But I did. What did I predict on the Colorado Kings game? You remember what
you did predict a 5-2 win in the Columbus game.
Oh, I did? Okay.
And you have
what was Colorado? I predict the Kings to lose in Colorado too. What was it, 5-3 or something?
I have the Kings winning.
So I was 2-1 in this week. I'm doing good on that, guys.
Yeah, 4-2.
I got to be good at something, right?
You had the Kings losing 4-2 against Colorado.
I picked 2 of the 3 games exact.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go to Vegas.
Father-son trip?
I think your mom would want to go to that. Okay, now we're going to go to the Ducks games.
The Ducks games. All right. So we started off this week of games strong. The Ducks win the game on Sunday against the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-2. And this was Gibby's return back. And I'll admit, he looked a little shaky here and there, but it was his first game back after having his surgery and everything. Because he didn't really get any pregame or preseason games or anything like that. Missed a lot of training camp, so can't really blame him for having a awkward start. But I mean, on that, I thought he looked pretty good though. You could just tell he had some shaky moments, but the Ducks won this game 4-2. Shots on goal, the Columbus Blue Jackets had 40, and the Ducks had 30. Brett Leeson. Oh, I believe that name sounds familiar. I believe last week's podcast, I said, why the hell isn't Brett Leeson in this lineup? He brings some offense to the bottom 6. Why isn't he playing? And sure enough, his first game back after being healthy scratched, what does he do? He scores a goal. And I just remember, I think I was watching this last week with my parents. Dad, on the Ducks' first goal when Brett Leeson scored, what did I say?
I can't remember exact words, but it was elation.
Yeah. I was like, hey, didn't I just talk about this on the podcast that Brett Leeson needs to be in? And look, he scores. And he's looked good since he's come back. And I honestly, and I'm going to eat crow. I'm going to admit, I'm going to eat a lot of crow right now. Ross Johnston, he's looked good. Believe it or not. I'm going to eat it. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Well, I can see you're not eating any crow right now. You're not actually eating anything at all. Where's the crow? Christina, crow, medium rare, please.
Yeah, medium, always medium rare. But yeah, I'll admit, he's looked good out there. Ross Johnson has. Like he's doing what he needs to do. He's not just what as I believe what I call the big traffic cone out there. No, he's actually like forechecking good. He's making good plays, good decisions. And like I said, I'll admit I'm wrong. You know, it probably won't be. It's definitely not the first, and it definitely won't be the last time I was wrong on here. But yeah, Brett Leeson gets his first of the season with assists from Cutter Gauthier and Ross Johnston. So Anaheim takes the lead 1-0 in the first period. And about 13 minutes later, the Columbus Blue Jackets score on a power play goal. You're going to hear me say that a lot later about giving up power play goals. Igor Chinnikov scores his fourth goal of the year on the power play with assists from Rarinsky and Marchenko. And then Jackson Lacombe in the second period gets his first of the season with assists from Radko Gudas and Troy Terry. And then, so the Ducks have a 2-1 lead going into the third period, and Leo Carlson scores his fifth of the year with assists from Brian Dumoulin and Ryan Strome to make it 3-1 Anaheim. And then someone who's looked good I believe he's looked good the last couple seasons for Columbus, Kirill Marchenko scores his sixth of the year unassisted to make it to get Columbus within one. And then in garbage time, pretty much Isaac Lundestrom gets the empty netter for his second goal of the year with assists from Frank Vetrano and Brock McGinn. So the Ducks win this one 4-2 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. We'll go over the game stats real quick. Shots on goal, as I said before, was 40 for Columbus, 30 for the Ducks. Face-off percentage, like I said, something we definitely need to work on. 57% for Columbus, 43% for the Ducks. Not good. Not good. Power play. This was the Ducks only had two power play chances. They went 0 for 2, and they also gave Columbus 2 chances, and they went 1 for 2. Hits. Ducks got 20 hits. Columbus got 18. 21 block shots for the Ducks, 16 for Columbus, 18 giveaways for the Ducks. That's what's going to hurt us, guys. 18 giveaways? Not very good compared to only 8 giveaways for Columbus. So, something we got to get better at. The 3 stars of this game, John Gibson, of course, the number 3 star. He only gave up 2 goals, and he has a .950 save percentage. And this is something you don't see often in the stat for the 3 stars. Trevor Zegras, number 2 star. He had no points. But I believe he was just good, very good defensive this game. He made good decisions in the defensive end, and he really helped the Ducks get plays out of their zone. And like I said, you don't see that often. And then Jackson Lacombe was the number 1 star with 1 goal and 1 point. So that was the game against the Blue Jackets. Now we're going to move on to the game against the Vegas Golden Knights. Oh, and by the way, that was our first win during our home 6-game homestand. It only took us to our 4th game to finally get a win, but we finally got one. Next game, Ducks go against the Vegas Golden Knights. And this final was the Golden Knights 3, the Ducks 2. So we dropped this one to go, I believe, 1-4-0 on the homestand?
6 games.
Yeah, but they still have one more after this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I said so far. The Golden Knights had 39 shots on goal compared to the Ducks' 24 shots on goal. The one thing I will like that the Ducks have done recently in these games is they've scored first. So that's good. First period, Brock McGinn gets the scoring started with his 3rd of the season with assists from Pavel Minchikov and Brett Leeson. Oh, wait, Brett Leeson got an assist?
He got a point after me saying he needs to be in the lineup more.
Cody's
Crazy.
patting himself on the back
Oh,
again.
I mean, I got to make up for the Ross Johnston thing. So,
Yeah, I saw when he scored. I go, "Oh, Cody's gonna eat. He's gonna eat crow, all right."
last night, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that. I'm like, okay, so we'll move on. And then about 90 seconds later, Nick Waugh scores for the Vegas Golden Knights with his fifth goal of the year, and another Ducks legend, Shea Theodore, gets an assist with his 11th assist of the year. God, if only someone would have picked him up in fantasy hockey. And then,
Sore
I
subject,
know,
son.
I know. So it goes 1-1, and after the first period, we go into the second period, and notified duck killer Thomas Hurdle scores his fifth of the year on the power play to make it 2-1 Vegas. Jack Eichel gets his 20th assist of the season, and Shea Theodore gets his 12th of the year to put Vegas up 2-1. And then we go to the third period, and Pavel Dorofeyev scores his ninth of the year unassisted. That one hurt. If I remember right, I believe this was a straight giveaway. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm looking at like the little replay. Let's just say Lundstrom's in the bottom in the below the goal line, and he just throws it back, and it just goes right to Dorofeyev, and he just goes in and scores
Oh, he got an
easily.
assist for them then,
So,
huh?
yeah, Lundstrom got an assist on this goal. It says unassisted, but I could have swore Lundstrom just gave it right to him, though. But,
Are they buddies or something, Cody?
I guess so. I don't know. Here you go, guy. Here you go, you know. And then Frank Vetrano gets his second of the year in garbage time, which the Ducks have been very famous for the last couple weeks, is just getting that one goal, but it doesn't really help at the same time. With 14 seconds left, Frank Vetrano scores his second of the year with assists from Brett Leeson and Alex Killorn. Wait, is that 3 points in 2 games for someone that I said should be in the lineup? Crazy, right?
Okay, Coach Cody.
Thank you. But like I said, there's other things the Ducks also need to get better at. Face-offs. 59-41. That's not good. Power play. 0 for 3. Not good. Penalty kill. 1 for 3. Not good. Hits, we out hit them only by 1, 19-20. So we had 16 block shots. They had 17. 21 giveaways. We gotta work on the giveaways, guys. We can't be just giving away the puck. So, the Ducks will not be able to win this season's series against the Vegas Golden Knights because Vegas already has taken 2 of the first 4 games. So, the Ducks won the season series last year for the first time in Vegas Golden Knights history, but it won't be a repeat this year, guys. Stars of the game: Jack Eichel, number 3 star with 1 assist. Brock McGinn was the number 2 star with 1 goal, and Aiden Hill was the number 1 star with only giving up 2 goals, and he had a .917 save percentage.
And I wonder
So,
who has him in the fantasy league.
oh, did you pick him up?
I did.
Or did you draft him?
I picked him up.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else dropped him. I dropped Omar because he just wasn't cutting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Last game of the week happened last night. The last game of the homestand. Ducks go against who I still consider a rival for the Ducks. You know, they're in the Eastern Conference, but fans that haven't been as fan as long as I would say I have, they still think that the Predators and the Blackhawks are, rivals of the Ducks. But I don't think if they go back in the early 2000s, it was Ducks and Red Wings. those playoff matches were always so much fun to watch. So like I think in both times the Ducks went to the Stanley Cup final, they had to go through the Red Wings. So I think that's just I think that's a rival right there. So, but Ducks win this game against the Detroit Red Wings 6-4. Ducks had 29 shots on goal to the Red Wings 25. And sure enough, and for the third game in a row, I believe, the Ducks score first and Olin Zellweger gets his third of the year with assists from Jackson Lacombe and Erik Karlsson.
Erik Karlsson?
Oh, sorry, Leo
You mean
Karlsson.
Leo Karlsson?
Leo Karlsson. There's too many Karlssons.
Did you guys make a trade with Pittsburgh or something?
Oh God, that would be the worst. I would be if the Ducks made that trade. I'd be so mad. Leo Karlsson. I don't know where I thought Erik Karlsson from.
Well, we were talking about Dubas earlier, so maybe Pittsburgh was on your mind.
I think on 32 Thoughts, I think they were talking about like the whole Erik Karlsson could be traded and stuff like that. But Ducks, first part of the first period, it was good, and then the Ducks just got into penalty trouble. They Ducks got a penalty, and then typical fashion, someone gets their first career NHL goal against the Ducks, which happens almost every game, it feels like. Marco Kasper gets his first career NHL goal on the power play with assists from Comfort and Sider. So now that it's tied 1-1, and then the Ducks take another penalty, and it's Jonathan Urgin. He gets his second of the year on the power play. With assists from Tarasenko and Marco Kasper. And that's his second assist of the year for Kasper. So after the first period, it's 2-1 Red Wings. And then, sure enough, just about a minute into in the second, Lucas Raymond gets his second goal of the year with assist from Alex DeBrincat to make it 3-1 Detroit. Wasn't looking pretty after that. But after that, I would say after that goal, things changed. The Ducks got a power play, and Trevor Zegras gets his second of the year. Finally, he hasn't scored since I believe that was his first goal since the first game of the year when he scored the empty netter. So Trevor Zegras gets his second on the power play, with assists from Olin Zellweger and Alex Killorn. So now it's 3-2 Detroit. Going into the third, Troy Terry gets his sixth of the year on the power play with assists from Olin Zellweger and Leo Karlsson. See, that's a 3-point night for Olin Zellweger. So now it's tied 3-3. And guess what happens to make it 4-3? He finally did it on his 1 millionth shot in the NHL. Cutter Gauthier gets his first career NHL goal. It finally happened, guys. The Schneid is over. So Cutter gets his first career goal finally. Now I think it's just a ketchup bottle. It's just going to burst open, and hopefully now he scores 1 million goals a game. That'd be great, wouldn't it? And Drew Hellison. Oh, and this was Drew Hellison's first game of the season, so he gets an assist on the Cutter Gauthier goal to get his first point of the year. Brian Dumoulin also gets the assist on the Gauthier goal. So now it's 4-3 Anaheim. And then just over 30 seconds later, this is where I'm going to eat crow. Ross Johnston gets his first goal of the season on a beautiful tip-in from an assist from Jansen Harkins and Drew Hellison.
The two guys who just got called up both got assists on that goal, huh?
Exactly.
That's what Ross Johnston was asking for them to come up so he could score a goal.
Probably. But here's something funny, and this is what they said on the broadcast last night. Drew Hellison has scored 0 points in all the games he played in San Diego. The one goal he played, or the one game he plays in Anaheim, he gets 2 assists in one game.
He had no points in how many games?
I want to say it was like 10 or 11 games with San Diego.
No points? Really?
But Drew Hellison's a defenseman, and he's not really. Remember, he was supposed to be. He's like a young version of Josh Manson. And I can tell you, Drew Hellison looked great in this game. Other than that one stupid penalty he took, but on that, I thought he looked great, and I liked that he's a right shot defenseman. So I like that. Dumoulin was able to go onto his natural side because he's a lefty. So now the Ducks get that insurance goal to make it 5-3 from Ross, the traffic cone Johnston. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to call him that right now. Like I said, I was wrong on it. He's looked great. Good job, Ross. I'm proud of you. Alex DeBrincat on another power play goal for Detroit to make it 5-4 Anaheim. DeBrincat gets his 7th goal of the season with assists from Sider and Raymond. And then with about 24 seconds left, Ryan Strome gets the empty net goal for his 4th goal of the year with assists from Frank Vetrano and Brian Dumoulin. So the Ducks win this one 6-4. 3 stars of the game. Drew Hellison gets the 3rd star. Like I said, looked great defensively because he's someone that like brings that physicality to the game. Something that the Ducks have kind of needed too. So he was the 3rd star with 2 assists. Cutter Gauthier, the number 2 star with the 1 goal because he finally gets his first career goal. And then Olin Zellweger is the 1st star of the game with 1 goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Like I said, Zellweger's looked great. Could that be a hint at something for later? But the shots on goal, 29-25 in favor of the Ducks. But here's the thing, I'll lead this into the power play. Face-off percentage, 59-41 again. And this is what killed the Ducks, I would say for sure. For the face-off and power play is, I want to say the Ducks lost, I believe they said on the broadcast, 12 out of 13 or 12 out of 14 face-offs in special teams. The Ducks lost 12 out of 13 or 14 face-offs. So when you're not starting with if you're on the power play and you don't win the face-off, that's a good 12-15 seconds off the clock already. And then when you're on the penalty kill, if you don't win the face-off, then the other team gets to start in the offensive zone with the puck, and you don't get to waste that first 10-15 seconds. So something the Ducks need to work on. So they were Detroit was 3 for 4 for the power play, and the Ducks were 2 for 4 on the power play. This was just a game of special teams. The Ducks did out-hit Detroit 23-11, 15 block shots to 12 in favor of the Ducks. The giveaways were a lot better in this game, I would say. We still gave away more than Detroit, but we didn't give away almost 20 giveaways. We only had 11. And then the takeaways is what really helped us, where we had 10 takeaways. So I would say all around this was a lot better week for the Ducks. And I feel like the Ducks really just dominated this game. I would say about halfway into the second period. I believe the Ducks, outshot them. Let's see, it was 13-23. Yeah, 13-23. So the Ducks outshot them in the last 2 periods, 13-23. That's great. That's really good. So the Ducks go 2-1 this week. Sorry about that. But I believe now we are on to Player of the Week. Who's your Player of the Week?
Well, I'm going to give you some stats, people, before I tell you the player of the week. The player with the most points this past week was Anze Kopitar with 5 assists. Right behind him, Adrian Kempe with 2 goals and 2 assists. And Trevor Moore with 2 goals and 2 assists. And the player of the week is California native Trevor Moore.
Trevor Moore.
Somebody we needed to get started who hadn't really been producing a whole lot. Had a 4 points in what 3 games? It's pretty good. Get him going, get Byfield going, you know. We can get everybody going. Who knows? And I do want to also say we might have Riddick in goal tonight, but we could have Portillo. It might be exciting to watch at 5 o'clock tonight, people. So, obviously, you're probably not going to get this in time to do that, but I just thought about that. Sorry. But that's my player of the week, Trevor Moore.
My Player of the Week. I mean, he's looked good. I would say he's probably been one of the Ducks' most consistent players, other than like Dostal this year. And like I said, someone that needs to be recognized more, and it's just crazy what this kid can do. And I'm gonna go. My Player of the Week is going to be defenseman Olin Zellweger.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah,
I figured it out pretty quick.
No, I know, but I mean, he's looked great.
He has. He's fun to watch play. He's a good.
He's so much fun to watch.
He's going to be on the first pair for the future.
Oh yeah, so. If we can just get him the perfect right hand defenseman, to pair, I think sky's the limit for the Ducks with him. And he was a 2nd round pick. So, yeah. Like I said, it's hard to not pick Zellweger this week.
Yeah.
He had a great week. He's looked good. He's looked good defensively too. So that's gonna be my player of the week. And then you want to go into predictions?
Sure. You want me to go first?
I'll go first this time. Because I don't even think you have yours on the notes yet.
I don't, but I have it written down.
Oh. I did mine ahead of time for once.
Maybe I'll put mine in now that you're doing that. So
that way it's at least in the notes. But all right. The Ducks play Monday in Dallas. And I'm going to be honest with this one. I'm not looking forward to this one very much. I'm predicting a 5-1 loss for the Ducks. Yeah, 5-1 loss. And then, sure enough, they, on a back-to-back, I don't understand why they do back-to-backs away. Why don't they just do back-to-backs at home? That makes more sense to me, but yeah. But the Ducks have to go from Dallas to Chicago. On Tuesday, they play the Chicago Bedards, and I'm predicting a 3-1 win. I believe the Ducks get revenge on the Chicago Blackhawks. And then on Friday, they come back home and play against the Buffalo Sabres, and I'm predicting a 4-3 loss. So I have 1 win and 2 losses for the Ducks this week.
Okay. On to the Kings. Well, 5 o'clock today, they're going to be playing the Detroit Red Wings, and I have the Kings beating the Red Wings 6-3. And then I guess we only have a game on Wednesday, the 20th, at home against Buffalo, and I have the Kings winning that one 5-3. So I have the Kings going 2-0 this week.
Well, you guys also do play Saturday.
Well, Saturday next week, I don't want to. We'll do that
Okay.
next week.
That's why I didn't put it in the notes.
Because we won't have the results. Remember, we're not going to do Saturday.
Well, I meant for the yeah. Well, I mean, you could predict it.
Who are they playing Saturday?
They play the Seattle Kraken at 1:00.
1:00. Okay, I'll go.
If you want to do it for this podcast, or you can save it for the next one.
I'm going to say Kings 6, Kraken 5.
Okay, so close game, high scoring game.
Well, they always have high scoring games because Kraken. They're very rarely a big defensive game. Somehow the Kraken get the Kings to run and gun. So
I can't remember if that's an away game or not, but
I think it's a home game.
6-5. I'll just put it in the notes, at least that. All right. So I do want to do a quick ad read real quick because we do have a new I forgot to tell I meant to tell you this before we started, but we do have a new ad sponsorship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me.
I know. I totally forgot to tell you.
The dad is always the last to know.
I know, and I'm sorry, but our new sponsor is Dubby Energy Drink. So are you ready to elevate your day with Dubby, a premium energy drink? Well, say goodbye to ordinary and hello to extraordinary focus. Our secret ingredient, coffee fruit extract, is a star that helps you laser in on your goals. Plus, Dubby is packed with brain-boosting amino acids like L-taurine, Tyson, L-glutamine, and L-citrulline. And that's not all. We've included the most brain-benefiting vitamins such as B3, B6, B12, and C to keep you sharp and focused. With 150 milligrams of caffeine per serving, Dubby delivers the energy you need without the crash, jitters, or angst. And not just that, it's only $1 per drink. It's a smarter choice that your daily coffee or canned drink can't give you. Ready to try Dubby? Don't forget to use our promo code RQ10 to save 10% on your order. I'll put the Dubby website link in our show notes. But are you ready to be better and be focused and be energized? Dubby.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I just had mine, and I'm ready. And that was all. I didn't even practice that, so that's how you knew I was ready.
Yeah, did good.
Yeah, but so we do have, or I'll do my trivia question real quick.
Okay.
Who eliminated the Kings their first year into the playoffs?
Flyers?
It was not the Flyers.
Red Wings?
Not the Red Wings. You have 10 more teams to really kind of choose from.
I got to think back now because you're talking that was in 67.
67, 68, yep.
Montreal?
Not Montreal. I'll give you a hint. This team is around anymore, but not in the same location they were before.
They're around.
I'm going to give you a big hint. They went from north to south.
Calgary?
They went from north to south. I'm putting emphasis on the north, and they went to south.
Minnesota?
The Minnesota North Stars. Yes. They got defeated in the 1968 quarterfinals by the Minnesota North Stars. And the Kings were the higher seed, too.
Yeah, in their first season.
Yeah. Well, I think it was Minnesota's first season, too.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, and the Kings had a 3-2 series lead and lost Game 6 and Game 7.
Oh.
They lost Game 6 in overtime. Yeah.
Well,
What could have been?
yeah, if you looked at the names that played that season for the Kings, you wouldn't recognize most of them.
I want to say there's one. Actually, really only one name I recognize.
Well,
Can you guess who that one player is? Terry Sawchuk. It's the only name I recognize.
oh, that's right. They had Sawchuk their first year. I forgot about that. Other than that,
Yeah.
they had all these guys from the minor leagues playing for them.
Yep.
It wasn't like what Vegas got when they were an expansion
Oh
draft.
God, no.
Or
Okay.
even most of the expansion draft teams. So.
Yeah, seriously. Vegas just took advantage of everyone.
Well,
But,
they were allowed to take advantage. There were such
so
open rules for them. It's a little harder now.
Well, what didn't help is Vegas, since they were like the first expansion team in 20 or so years.
Yeah.
They really changed the expansion draft rules to make the expansion team more competitive, at least more competitive.
Right.
And Vegas, and I'm not gonna like deny that they took advantage of everyone, but that's what Vegas has always kind of done. Is, and honestly, we should have known from the very start. Is they're not. They just know how to manipulate the rules. Whatever they did was completely legal and everything. So they just knew how to get everything out of the rules.
And they're still doing it.
And they're still doing it.
Yes. And doing it, I know, legally, but it doesn't seem right. But anyways.
But yes, they are doing it legally, yes. So we did have one listener question from Vicky on Instagram. Who was the oldest player to play for each team?
Okay. Do you want to jump on that first? Or you want me to?
You go first.
Okay. So I'm sure there's one of these guys is more, but I couldn't get the exact information because it's not really something that's easily available. But we had 3 players who played at the age of 40 for the Kings. 2 of them I remember. The other one, I couldn't recall that person was a King. One of them still is in the Kings organization, and he happens to be the president of the organization, Lucky Luke Robitaille. He didn't play a lot that 40-year-old season, but he did score a couple of goals. Also, at the age of 40, Larry Robinson, who later became a Kings coach, played at the age of 40. And the third one was goalie Sean Burke, also played at the age of 40.
Wow.
So we have 3 players. Beat that, Cody. I bet you only have one.
Well, how about this? You had 3 players that were only 40.
I had one that was older. I already know.
One that was older and probably, I wouldn't say higher up on the best player list. But he's done something that Luke Robitaille has never done. Actually, 2 things. The most goals ever in a season and a Stanley Cup championship as a player.
What do you mean most goals in a season?
How many goals did Luke Robitaille ever score in a season?
I think most was 63.
And how many did this player have?
76.
70 in his rookie year.
One of both. I already know who the answer to this one.
Yeah. But Teemu Selanne was the oldest player to play for the Ducks at the age of 44.
So funny. I didn't even think about this, but my 2 favorite players were the oldest players to play for their team.
Yeah.
I mean, Lucky Luke, and I mean, I don't know anybody that doesn't like Teemu Selanne. I just don't like anybody that doesn't like. I just love him as a person.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, he played just for the Ducks, never played for the Kings, but I don't know. I just like him.
Oh, yeah. So in Solani's last season, he played 64 games, 9 goals, 18 assists for 27 points. It was a +8. He had 4 power play goals, and he was also 7th in voting for the Lady Byng Trophy.
And how old was he?
He was 44 years old in that last season.
Yeah, I miss him on the ice.
Oh, I miss him on the ice too. Trust me.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So 44 years old for the Ducks, and the age of 40 for the Kings. Unless we're missing someone, please let us know.
Yeah, if
I think Solani was the easy choice for the Ducks, but I don't know for the Kings if there was someone older.
I don't think so.
Yeah. What was it? It's not like Jaromir Jagr that's still playing at the age of 60 something, isn't he?
I'm not sure how old he is.
And then was it?
Well, he owns that team in
I
his
know.
in his home country, and that he
And then
he only plays because it keeps it going.
yeah. Who was the one player? It was he played what 32 seasons in the NHL.
Gordie Howe.
Was it Gordie Howe?
Gordie Howe played till he was like 47 or 48.
That's crazy.
I mean, Chelios was pretty old too. I think he was like close to that.
Hey Eric, can you ask Chris Chelios how long he played, or if he wants to come on the podcast and let us know?
We're shouting out a question to one of our listeners and guest hosts.
Mm-hmm.
So you can always text me that answer, Eric. I haven't heard from you lately, so I've missed you.
Yeah, his phone hasn't been ringing on the podcast, which is nice.
I think he knows better now.
So that was our one listener question.
Perfect.
But hopefully this week is, a better, stays good. I hope the Ducks played. If the Ducks can play like they did the last half of of the game last night, that's all I want. They looked great offensively. They looked great defensively. That's what I want.
But just need to get our teams healthy.
Yes, that is very true.
Injuries have been pretty prevalent this season, so we can pray that everyone gets healthy and obviously recovers from if they have to have surgeries and so forth. Like Doughty and Fabry both ended up having surgeries, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be exciting. It's an exciting season.
It's. I was looking at the standings, and the Ducks aren't last in the division, so the Sharks are last in the division. Oh, thank you.
Because they won last night. That's why they were last until they won last night.
Yes and no. They were last in points, but the San Jose also had 3 games on the Ducks.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They were
on a point. So points percentage, the Ducks were better. So again, all right, you ready to get out of here?
I am.
All right, guys, thank you for listening to another episode of Royally Quacked, episode 38. Hopefully we can get to 100 like our friends over at Late Arrivals. Again, congratulations to them for reaching the century mark.
Yeah, they're beyond a century now.
Yeah, I think they're at 104 or 105 now.
Something like that, yeah.
But please don't forget to follow us and subscribe on all our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We do have a Facebook group now. And I just signed us up for Blue Sky. So don't forget to follow us on Blue Sky. If you don't know Blue Sky, it's pretty much the new, I think it's, I don't remember who made it, but I think the guys that used to own Twitter now invented Blue Sky. So it's like a new Twitter kind of place. So please go follow us on Blue Sky at Royally Quacked. what was the other one I was going to say? Please. Oh, also, please tell everyone, tell your family, friends, coworker, and everyone possible to go download episode 34 of Royally Quacked, because for every download...
34.
No,
37?
Did I say 34?
Yeah, it's 37.
Oh, sorry. Episode 37 of Royally Quacked, because for every download you guys for every download, my dad and I will donate $1 to the Nego Foundation. We'll keep it going because I want to be able to donate more for that. So we'll keep it going.
It's dear to our heart. That's ran by a friend of ours, and please, it helps mostly kids with cancer.
Yes.
It's never ever give up is what NEGU stands for. Never ever give up. Created by a 12-year-old girl with brain cancer. And I can only tell you guys how much she inspired my faith by how faithful she was. She was such an inspiration at 12 years old. Wish I still had that kind of faith.
Yeah. So guys, please don't forget to go download episode 37 of Royally Quacked. That way, the more you guys download, the more we donate.
Amen.
So, on that, let's have a great week for both teams, and just remember,
go Kings, go!
And quack, 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 quack. See you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
A father and son, a bond so strong, talking hockey all day long. Royally Quacked, their podcast show, sharing stories, highs and lows. From the Kings to the Ducks they go. Shout and go Kings, go! Quack, quack, they cheer. A father and son, their passion sincere on the ice. Their love appears through the highs and lows in the years. The legends of Gretzky, Solana's grace, passing on history in every case. Father teaching son, a legacy shared. On Royally Quacked, their stories aired. Face off in life, together they stand. Shout and go Kings, go! Quack, quack, they cheer. A father and son, their passion sincere on the ice. Their love appears through the highs and lows and the years. Let go! The legends of Gretzky, Solana's grace, passing on history in every case. Father teaching son, a legacy shared. On Royally Quacked, their stories aired. Face off in life, together they stand. Shout and go Ducks, go! Go Kings, go! A father and son watching the show. Through wins and losses